Dan McDonald here from regenerateyourlife.org. Another great recipe video for you here. This is a juice recipe for beauty. I'm going to get started right away and we'll talk about that. We'll talk about beauty and why raw foods is one of the key components to bringing health and beauty to the human body. If you look, you'll notice certain things like beets, as well as these dandelion greens here. Those are going to bring a lot of color to the system, where you can have like white rice or white potatoes or white bread, and you're not going to get any of those types of phytonutrients that are going to give color to the skin. Another thing that's imperative when it comes to the raw foods is the minerals. That's what I see changing everyone's lives. The absorption of minerals through the GI tract wall. That's why I love juicing so much, because it allows people that don't have a high absorbability to actually be able to absorb more than they would had they not ran the fruits and vegetables through the juicer. So this juice recipe consists of dandelion here, which is really good for the liver. So if you want to be beautiful, you've got to have a clean liver. Once the liver starts getting backed up, that's when you're going to start to have issues. Spotty skin and a host of other issues, because the liver detoxifies everything, cleans everything, and the liver also can sort of restructure different elements. It's a recycling plant in a certain kind of a way as well. If it's not functioning well and it's sluggish, it won't be able to take and separate the debris from that which is useful to the system. So dandelion greens is one of the keys to having a healthy liver, and it's also really, really good for the teeth. The dandelion greens, the bitter greens, they bring a lot of strength and health and tonification and alkalization to the system. Also totally loaded with minerals as well. So the dandelion greens are, if you can get a bundle of those in a day, you're doing a real good thing for yourself, you know. And the dandelion greens are incredible for the skin. If you've got some issues with your skin, you can drink about 10 ounces of dandelion juice every day, and after 2 or 3 weeks you'll notice a very marked improvement in your skin quality and your texture, particularly in the cases of like acne. So there we go. When it comes down to beauty, there are a lot of people having acne, and I really a long time ago decided that I didn't really like acne in any way, back knee, front knee, any of it. I don't like it. It doesn't look good to me, and so I went on a mission to understand, so what I've done over the years is just always learn how to eat foods that keep my cells clean, keep my lymphatic system clean, so that the skin does not become another organ of elimination. So I've got dandelion, parsley, apple, beet, fennel, cucumber, lemon, and ginger, okay? So I'll say that again: dandelion, parsley, apple, beet, fennel, ginger, lemon, cucumber. So check that out. That's just that this is an overall beauty drink, and I'll explain some of this other stuff. Apple, for me, it is very healthy food. It's very good for the blood vessels to keep them nice and clean. But for me, a lot of times the apples, they're not the most nutrient-dense food in the world, but they're a great carrier and a sweetener. Most people like them a little bit sweet. I like some dark green juices with no sweetener. Usually about 2 out of every 10 juices I'll have a dark green juice. The other ones I'll sweeten with apple, beet, or carrot. So again, the apple here is more of a carrier in this recipe here today. This is a Green Star Elite juicer. It is definitely, if not the best juicer on the market. A microphone. It's a really, really, really good juicer, and it really extracts at a very high level, particularly these greens, because a lot of you will have your centrifugal juicer, and it just doesn't absorb, it doesn't extract the greens. Like if you put parsley into a centrifugal juicer, you lose, it just all goes into the hopper, and you just lose it, So you waste your money. But when you've got when you've got a juicer like this, single auger is actually okay too. Some of the other upright juicers are fine, but this one really has the highest extraction rate, particularly for these greens, and it's these greens that bring the chlorophyll. So again, the reason why I put parsley in this particular recipe is because the parsley is helpful for the kidneys. It really cleanses the kidneys. Not only that, but it also neutralizes all different types of body odors. So parsley is an amazing food. It's people put it on the side of the plate and they don't even eat it. But actually you can make great salads out of parsley with tomato, parsley, a little olive oil, sea salt, lemon, and just to have a big old bowl of parsley with cucumber, maybe some avocado or whatever. And you can have parsley as the body, as the base. That's a higher level of advanced. But let me tell you, parsley is an amazing herb, especially for the kidneys. And you're going to want to keep your kidneys clean if you're going to want to be beautiful, because when the kidneys are flowing, the sediment in the lymph, which is, you know, as far as the metabolic residue that goes with just everyday eating. You know, you eat and you're going to have metabolic residue. Now, again, let me say that, let's say that a turkey sandwich on rye bread is going to have more metabolic residue than a watermelon. And so these are very low metabolic residue foods. So what that tells you is that you get more nutrition with less metabolic residue, and that's the beauty of the fruits and vegetables, you know, because you want the delivery mechanism, the plants, the fruits and the vegetables absorb minerals, then they become bioavailable, and the delivery mechanism through the enzymes in these foods. The apple is perfectly designed, but if you cook the apple and make an apple pie, you destroy the enzymes in the apple, and then you're going to have to take from your own metabolic pancreatic enzymes and digestive enzymes, and so your energy is going to go down. So apple pie actually brings your vitality down on the level of the enzymatic action, whereas a raw apple right off the tree, particularly the fresher the food, the more vital and dynamic energy you're going to receive from it. But the apple is actually going to lift up your energy. So the fruits and vegetables, and the fresher they are, the better, are going to lift your energy, keep your body and your cells clean, and that's going to give you that radiant energy and beauty. Okay, so it's not all about the food. The other thing I'll have to mention in this video is that beauty really is a light in the heart. Khalil Gibran said that in The Prophet. And that is something that I have learned in recent years, that it's very important to stay in a healthy state of mind and a healthy state of emotion. And as I look out into the world, I see a lot of dysfunction. I'll put it to you that way. We learn the hard way, and some of us become more conscious than others. So I recommend paying attention, because it's paying attention and being awake and being aware that's going to help you to see where you're going wrong. Maybe that you're not loving yourself, you're not honoring yourself, and you might be operating out of like unconscious operating systems that you picked up from your society, your family, movies, church, religions, organizations, schools, and things like that, and not really getting the information. The best place to get it is from deep inside yourself, but that takes time to develop that relationship with that inner knowing. But it can be developed, and then you can become sensitive to, this is going to help me or this is going to hurt me, and it becomes more of an automatic response. But we're so lost and disconnected. The disharmony between the heart and the mind keeps the system from being able to be sensitive to that which is beneficial or that which is inimical to life. You know what I mean? So that's a sensitive thing, and so your mind might be saying one thing and your heart saying another and your nervous system saying another. So a lot of us are just really mixed up because we don't have a really deep, close personal relationship with ourselves, and our mind and our hearts have become disconnected. And so when we can align our hearts and our minds, then we can have harmony. Okay, and that's something that I have worked at for many years, and it's really, really important to have that. And so you continue to expand your self-honoring process and really say, is this harmonious? Is this job harmonious?
Is this relationship harmonious? Is this environment harmonious? Am I living in the ghetto and trying to live off, like, if I'm trying to be a raw foodist living in the ghetto, you may need to get up, get out and get something. You know, don't let the days of your life pass you by. I think some of you know the lyrics to that song. You got to get up, get out and get something. Don't spend all your time trying to get high. So, you know, we're just trying to really have a better life. Because everybody wants that, because that's your deep down essence. That is life itself. And if you're here breathing, watching this video, I know that you're alive. And I know that you have that life in you. And that life wants to evolve. And so some people evolve a little bit, and some people evolve a lot of bit. And I'm one of those ones that's like, I'm getting conscious about it, and I'm trying to recommend for you too to get conscious about your evolution, because then you can make some big differences. There's a lot of unconsciousness out there, and you're operating out of these default mechanisms, and these are buried pains, buried traumas, buried experiences. You know, not everyone's not just because you're operating out of the unconscious doesn't mean it's not pleasant either. There's a lot of unconscious that's pleasant. You know, the days in, you know, the good days at church or whatever, or the thing fun that you had with your family or whatever. But a lot of times, due to the inability to process certain things in our childhood, you know, we bury that away, and then it becomes the default mechanism. So unless you're living consciously, like I consciously choose to drink juice every day, that's a conscious choice you make, and then that conscious choice becomes an unconscious habit after it's been done long enough. And then, so that's how you build habits, by keep coming back consciously, until for me, it's like, well, in fact, I was going to say I drink juice every day. That's all I've drank today. 1 juice, 2 juices is my 3rd juice of the day. You know, then I might have a nice little salad for dinner. It's a really, really cool way. My skin is really nice. Right now, my hair has been really, really nice. Using the Morocco method hair care stuff. And just taking good care of myself. You know, get out a little bit, get some sun. But also just drink plenty of water. Make sure I get out and sweat and have some nice exercise. Anyways, let me get back to the... so beauty, yeah, that's right. But cucumbers are really good, especially the skin. If it's not organic, peel it. But you really do want to get organic, because all the beauty elements are in the skin of the cucumber. So, you know, I always recommend organic, because what you're getting is generally a lot higher level of mineral density. It's really, I'm telling you, it's all about the minerals and the enzymes, because the enzymes in the food and the supplemental enzymes as well help you to activate the other nutrients. But if you don't have those enzymes intact, and then people are like, I cooked my beets. Well, okay, that's fine. But the phytonutrients, antioxidants, and the minerals and the vitamins, they're not going to be utilized properly in its full synergy and the full spectrum, because you destroyed with heat, and heat destroys vitamins as well. So that's why you don't want to destroy the enzymes in this food, so that these enzymes can deliver all of the vitamins and minerals and antioxidants and phytonutrients, because that's what it's designed to do in a full spectrum. Now beets, I'm going over the top, paying attention, I'm rapping, DTM, getting into the zone, baby. So the beets, this is a beauty food. It's a blood cleanser, liver cleanser, but it simply goes into the blood through the GI tract, and then it goes to the skin. So all these beautiful fruits and vegetables. If you want to be beautiful, you've just got to eat the fruits and vegetables, because otherwise the pasty pale. I mean, I could eat, like, if I ate a bowl of white rice, I would see it in my face, in my complexion the next day. And I'm trying to go out like that. It's just not my style, okay? Now here's the ginger, which allows the beet to be delivered more deeply into the blood vessels that come out to the skin. You don't want to get your blood vessels clogged up with cheese and excess proteins and cooked fats, because then those little tiny microcapillaries that deliver the blood to the ends of the skin are going to get clogged up, and you won't have good circulation, and your face will sag, and you won't have nice skin. So again, we always coming back to the raw foods. There's the ginger that's going to kind of expand. You know, it's a circulatory tonic, okay? Now lemon is another beauty food, externally and internally, but Very, very good internally. It's a preservative for foods as well. Makes great salad dressings. And I just put the whole peel in there to get all the essential oils as well, but don't do it with oranges or grapefruits or limes because you'll ruin your food. But for some reason the lemon peel is totally conducive to consumption. But anyways, let me see where we're at. Good, because this new camera does 16-minute clips. So the lemon here is a tonifier. So it's just that's where you're going to get that tightening of the skin. So that's for people like that have the saggy skin. I would drink like the juice of 3 or 4 lemons in a 32-ounce jar of water and bounce on the rebounder for 60 minutes a day to get rid of that saggy, flabbing skin. Okay, I saw this guy on Facebook that was like 400 and something. Now he's down to 200, but it's just hanging there. He's got like moobs and everything else. But if you do it with the raw foods, I'm telling you, even my raw food friends, I said this on the last video or this video or whatever, but even my raw food friends, you know, they come and there's just so much more to learn when we've had so much life experience that can take them to the next level. And they've been on raw foods for years, you know, 80% or more. And then we can, when they come around the DTM, I'm like, oh, I wouldn't mix that, and make sure you soak your pumpkin seeds, you know, just up in the level, and getting these combinations and doing it just right so everything is absorbed and utilized, and there's no, you know, canceling out through food combining and then farting and bloating and gas, and then you've got all the different viruses and the parasites and the yeasts and the molds that can accumulate. So get cleaned up, get beautified. Here's some juice to get loose, baby. I'm gonna have a jar of juice. See, Mom, you can tell me how you like it, and I'll say goodbye. Again, there's a seminar where I'll be teaching more of this on April 14th. There's a link down below. April 14th is a free seminar. Sign up for that now. It's going to fill up just like the last one did. And then make sure you pay attention if you're interested in really getting some hands-on training with Dan McDonald and Lou Corona, doing a food class and a workshop the following weekend on the 18th and the 19th. Hope to see you there. There's also a link down below for that. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate you spending your time with me today. It's a joy and honor and a privilege, and I hope you learned something and you go away a better person. Thank you.